I'm going to teach you how to do the soil in a jar method. So what you need for this is a soil sample. You can get it with a little shovel, a trowel, or a big shovel if you want from your yard, or the park, or a planter nearby in an apartment complex. You can put it on a paper plate, or you can put it on a paper towel. You need something to, again, to dig with. If you don't have a trowel at home, you could use a big spoon, but make sure if it's a kitchen spoon that you sterilize it really well when you're done. Put it in the dishwasher. Dishwasher sterilize things really well. You also need some soap. The best is borax if you have it. It's a laundry booster, so you might have it by your laundry machine. If not, don't worry about it because dish soap is okay too. This is my Method dish soap. That's great as well. And you need some sort of a bottle. So tall and skinny is the best for measuring. But if you don't have tall and skinny, that's okay. Use what you have. So here's an empty ice drink container. You want flat sides if you have them. Here's a kombucha container. This is flat sides as well. This one's a pasta one. Now this is a sample of kind of what it looks like when it's done, although this one got a little mixed up, shaken a little bit. But this is a pasta jar, so this is great too. An empty sort of jar. Straight sides is best, but if you don't have straight sides and all you have is an old water bottle, then use that. So we're gonna take the soil sample first, and you need about a cup. You can just estimate. I wouldn't use one of these, but you can if you want, but then you'd have to sterilize it. So my recommendation is just to eyeball it. This is about the size of a baseball. So when you get your soil sample, get about the size of a baseball. When you get your soil sample, you want about 3 to 5 centimeters under the surface, because the surface isn't where the roots are. You want to see where the roots are. So about 1 to 2 inches or 3 to 5 centimeters under the top of the soil is where you want your sample. So I'm going to go right behind me to my little herb garden where I have rosemary and thyme and lavender and oregano growing, and I'm going to see what the soil is there. Alright, so the first thing that you want to do is you got to break up the clumps really well. So you're going to need to play in the soil. So just wash your hands really good when you're done. But this lab does not work well if you have clumps. So you have to really get dirty. It's AP Environmental Science or Environmental Science. Get dirty, get rid of the clumps, get rid of any noticeable twigs. There's a piece of bark I'm going to get rid of. And little rocks, I'm going to get rid of little rocks. I have a couple worms. That's great. It means my soil's healthy. So we don't want to kill the worms, so I'm going to go put them back. Here's one little earthworm. Here's another one here. I'm going to go put them back because they create really healthy soil. Here's a third earthworm. And I think I accidentally cut this one with my spade. So hopefully he'll regenerate. They can sometimes, depending on where they're cut, they'll regenerate. All right, so get out twigs and things. I'm gonna go put these earthworms back. All right, take some time to break up the clumps. Really important. You will not get the right results unless your clumps are broken up. We call clumps aggregates. Okay, and roots. I have some roots here. So I'm going to get rid of some of these roots. All right. So now I'm going to take a jar, and I'm going to use the ice jar here. And because it has a small opening, it's going to be a little bit hard to get in. And I'm going to fill it up about halfway. If you use a different jar, do about a cup. I would eyeball it. You could use a measuring cup, but again, you need to sterilize it when you're done. Or you can kind of eyeball about a cup or about the size of a baseball. So you're going to put in the soil. Again, make sure there's no roots or clumps. or twigs or rocks in it. With the little hole, it's going to take a little while. All right, I'm getting about halfway. All right, it's not quite halfway, but that's okay, that's plenty. And you're gonna add water and soap. So I just have a jug of tap water here. So I'm gonna add my tap water. It doesn't have to go all the way to the top, but it's enough so you can shake it pretty well. And if you have borax, add about a tablespoon of borax. You can measure it with a measuring spoon, or you can estimate, or it's kind of one of these larger spoons that you use for eating. So if you have borax, go ahead and use borax. It's non-sudsing, so the better ones don't sud, but that's okay if you don't have it. The dish soap works well, it just takes longer, but that's okay because we've given you more time. So we're gonna let these settle for about a week, which is fine. So I put in some borax in here, about a tablespoon, or you could do about a tablespoon of, this is Method dish soap. You can use Dawn, you can use Ivory. It's about a tablespoon. And what this does is it breaks up clay. Now clay is the smallest particle, but it likes to suspend in the water and not settle. So this is gonna help it settle. But regular dish soap will also create suds, and it takes a few days for the suds to go away. So now we're gonna shake for 5 minutes. Like seriously, set a timer on your phone and shake it for 5 minutes. That is super, super, super important. So I'm gonna turn off the video and I'm gonna shake this for 5 minutes, and then we're gonna let it set for 5 to 7 days, about a week. And we're gonna get layers, and you're gonna see the sand is gonna probably settle today, and then silt is gonna settle in about 1 to 2 days, but the clay layer on top might take about a week to settle, especially if you use sudsy dish soap. All right, so now you've got your jar. Remember to shake it for 5 minutes.